Okay, hi everyone. Now we are going to start with our example session on the topic natural disasters. Okay, so we studied about various natural disasters like cyclones, we studied about droughts, we studied about avalanches, we also studied about landslides. Now we will have an example session on the same. So the first question is, which of the following natural disasters is characterized by strong winds and heavy rainfall? Right. So characterized by strong winds and heavy rainfall. So we have studied about this. Is it A, cyclone? Is it B, drought? Is it C, landslide? Or is it D, avalanche? Okay, it is a cyclone. What is the main cause of a cyclone? Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, air pressure differences, drought conditions. So out of these, which is the main cause of a cyclone? It is C, air pressure differences. If you remember, I told you there's the sea, there is heating of the sea, this creates a low pressure, winds blow around this, right? Winds blow around this and it leads to a cyclone like this, right? There's a low pressure and the rest of the area high pressure. There are winds flowing very fast and there is rainfall as well. Okay, now which of the following is a safety measure during a cyclone? This is a safety measure. Out of these, which is a safety measure during a cyclone that we do when there is a cyclone? So going to the rooftop, we go to the roof, staying indoors and away from windows, walking near the shoreline, seeking shelter under a tree. So out of these, what should we do during a cyclone? It is staying indoors and away from windows, right? Staying indoors and away from windows. If I go to the rooftop, I will ultimately get hurt. I will be carried away in the wind, right? Do I walk near the shoreline? If the cyclone is coming from the sea, would I walk near the shoreline, right? I won't. Would I seek shelter under a tree? No, because the tree would fall, it would be uprooted. I will have no shelter, I will get hurt, right? Now, what is the term used to describe a prolonged period of abnormally low rainfall? Prolonged period of abnormally low rainfall. Is it a cyclone? Is it a drought? Is it a landslide? Is it an avalanche? It is B, drought. Okay, if you remember in the pictures of droughts, we found that a lot of cracks on the soil, right? Abnormally low rainfall means normally this does not happen. Okay, we have low rainfall, but this one is abnormal. This is for a very long time. Then it leads to drought. Which of the following is a consequence of drought conditions? So we just studied about droughts, and now which of the following of these options is a consequence of drought condition, right? What leads to one of these conditions? Excessive rainfall, crop failure, soil erosion, glacier melting. So out of these, which is a consequence, means after drought this would happen, right? Is it A, excessive rainfall, B, crop failure, is it C, soil erosion, or D, glacier melting? It is B, crop failure. Okay, crops will dry out. In which region are droughts more likely to occur? So in which regions droughts are likely to occur? Use your understanding. Where would droughts occur? How do they occur? They occur due to abnormally low rainfall. Where are low rainfall? Out of these, which has low rainfall? So is it coastal areas? Is it mountainous regions? Is it deserts, or is it polar regions? So yes, it is C, deserts. Desert in areas near deserts, right? So in the sub-Saharan countries or the Sahara or the African countries, right? So near deserts, okay, the place, they are likely to suffer drought because there is no rainfall and there is only a season of rainfall, and if that does not occur, there will be a severe drought, a dry condition. What is the primary cause of landslide? Now, what is a primary cause of landslides? Earthquakes, heavy rainfall, strong winds, or glacier melting. So, out of these, which is the primary, means the main cause, the leading cause of landslides that is occurring right now as we speak. Also in Himachal Pradesh, it is the monsoon season and there are a lot of landslides, it is a lot of flooding. It is due to the monsoon season. So what is the correct option over here? It is B, heavy rainfall. Okay, heavy rainfall leads to sliding down the slope. Which of the following is a preventive measure against landslides? Okay, a preventive measure against landslides. Is it A, deforestation? Is it B, building on steep slopes? Is it C, proper drainage system? Or is it D, increasing the water flow? Now, what do I do against landslide, to prevent landslides? Okay, I do build, what do I do? It is C, proper drainage system. Now, I will make proper drainage system so that the water is able to flow out of the land. It does not clog it. It does not lead to flowing down of the land, which leads to landslides. Now, what triggers an avalanche? What triggers an avalanche? What starts? Okay, what is the thing due to which an avalanche starts, right? So, is it a earthquake? Is it an earthquake? Is it heavy rainfall? Is it snow accumulation and instability? Or is it strong winds? It is snow accumulation and instability. So if there is a mountain, it has snow, right? Snow occurs again over this, again over this, and again. This leads to a big slope, right? Like this. Ultimately, all the snow will fall off, slide down, right? Which type of snow avalanche is most dangerous? Which type of snow avalanche is most dangerous? Slab avalanche, powder avalanche, wet avalanche, or loose snow avalanche, right? So is it a slab? Is it powder? Is it wet? Is it loose snow? Out of these, which is the deadliest, the most dangerous, that causes the most amount of destruction? It is a slab avalanche. Slab avalanche. How can the risk of avalanches be minimized? Okay, how do we minimize the risk? Constructing dams, clearing snow from slopes, increasing snow accumulation, or building roads near avalanche prone areas. How do we minimize the risk? We clear the snow from slopes. Okay, so if there is a lot of snow on the slope, we will keep clearing it so that it does not fall altogether. We do not construct dams. This is not a river. Okay, we do not increase snow accumulation. If we increase snow accumulation, there will be a far deadlier avalanche. We do not build roads near avalanche prone areas. Why? Because ultimately, if there is an avalanche, it will take away the road, it will disrupt the transportation. Alright, we do not make roads near avalanche prone areas, and if there is proper warning, right? In which season are cyclones most likely to occur in the northern hemisphere? So in which season would you estimate that in the northern hemisphere? So if this is the earth, right, if this is the earth, right, and there is an equator, so the part above the equator, this is the northern hemisphere. Okay, to the north of the equator. Now, in which seasons is cyclone most likely to occur? Okay, in which season? Is it spring? Is it summer? Is it autumn? Is it winter? Calculate. So, if you just put basic sense to it, how do cyclones start? Right? They start from heating up. Okay, so when the ocean surface, it heats up, right, and creates a low pressure zone. In all of these seasons, when will the heating be maximum? When are the most chances of cyclones? It is B, summer, because during summer again it would be very heated, right? There would be strong sun rays. Okay, it would heat near the equator more, and it would lead to formation of cyclones. What is the minimum wind speed required for a tropical cyclone to be classified as a hurricane? So this is a factual question. What is the minimum wind speed so that we can classify a cyclone to a hurricane? We can call it a hurricane. Is it 64 knots? Knots is a unit used by sailors, right? Sailors and coastal people, the authorities, they use this unit to classify the wind speed. Okay, so is it 64 knots? Is it 33 knots? Is it 96 knots? Or is it 50 knots? So that my cyclone is called as a hurricane. It is a 64 knots. Which of the following is a warning sign of an approaching cyclone? Now, out of these, something would occur before a cyclone comes. Okay, out of these, which is it? Is it a clear sky? Is it a rising temperature? Is it calm sea conditions, or is it dark clouds and strong winds? Right? What would happen? Create a basic understanding. Cyclones have storms, cyclones have clouds, cyclones have rainfall. Out of these, what would be happening? It is dark clouds and strong winds. Dark clouds means they have a lot of water content, and strong winds means a cyclone is approaching, most probably, because these are a warning sign. What is the main source of energy for cyclones? Okay, one of the main sources of energy of cyclones: solar radiation, ocean heat, volcanic eruptions, or is it D lightning strikes? Okay, so you might get confused between A and B. Okay, so the correct option is B, ocean heat. We do not care about the solar radiation, but if it is heating the ocean, heating the sea, creating more and more vapors, then it is a problem. So it is an ocean heat, that is the main source of energy. How are droughts measured? How do we measure the drought? Is it by rainfall intensity? Is it by humidity level? Is it by the soil moisture content, or is it atmospheric pressure? So what we mean by this is, when do we call it a drought? Is it when rainfall is low, or is it when humidity level is low, the moisture in the air is low? Is it when soil does not have moisture, when soil is dry, or is it when atmospheric pressure is high or low? Okay, so out of these, how are droughts measured? It is soil moisture content. Soil has less water in droughts, right? If you remember, there were a lot of cracks. Okay, let me show you. There were a lot of cracks. This was in the lesson. There were a lot of cracks in the soil. This is due to droughts. Okay, so it does not have a lot of moisture. Which of the following is a human-made factor contributing to landslides? So out of these, one is a human-made factor that creates landslides. So landslides occurring due to a human factor. Now what are these? Is it forest fire? Is it earthquake? Is it glacial movement, or is it volcanic eruptions? Okay, out of these, one is a human-made factor. Okay, correct option is A, forest fires. So mostly forest fires occur due to human mismanagement. Someone lit a fire and it was not properly managed. We get a lot of dry wood and it caught fire. People are careless about forest fires. So forest fires, they will lead to cutting of trees, burning of trees a lot, and loss of forest cover, which will leave the ground barren and would lead to landslides. Now what is a mudslide? What is a mudslide? Is it the rapid flow of wet soil down a slope? Is it the sudden movement of ice on a glacier? Is it the collapse of a volcanic cone? Or is it erosion caused by heavy rainfall? What do you think? Out of these, which categorizes as a mudslide? Right, a mudslide. It is the rapid flow of wet soil down a slope. Okay, so if this is a slope and there is a lot of soil that is wet down the slope, it is a mudslide. How can deforestation increase the risk of landslides? How can deforestation, that is the cutting of trees, increase the risk of landslides? It reduces air pollution, it stabilizes the soil, it promotes vegetation growth, it weakens the root structure of the soil. What does it do? It weakens the root structure of the soil. Weakens the root structure of the soil. Roots that bind the soil would be lost, right? So soil is now loose and it can flow away with water or with air, right? What type of avalanche occurs when a layer of snow slides over a smooth surface beneath it? Slides over a smooth surface beneath it. Okay, slab avalanche, powder avalanche, a wet avalanche, or loose snow avalanche. So what is the avalanche that occurs when a layer of snow slides over a smooth surface? Okay, this has been covered in the lectures. So the correct option is option A, slab avalanche. Okay, slab avalanche is what occurs when a layer of snow slides over a smooth surface beneath it. So example, if this mountain is made of rock, right, it is made of rock, the slope is made of rock, and this is very smooth, and if snow is continuously accumulating over it, if this is a smooth surface, it will eventually flow down, right? The snow will flow down. This is a slab avalanche. Which of the following is a safety measure during a cyclone? So this is a safety measure during a cyclone. Opening windows to equalize pressure. Okay, we open the windows during cyclone. Evacuating to low-lying areas. Evacuate to low-lying areas. Standing near tall objects for support. So we stand near the trees or anything. Using candles for lighting. Out of these, which is a safety measure? Okay, so the correct option is, of course, option B, evacuating to low-lying areas. Okay, we evacuate that area, we evacuate from that place. What is the term used to describe a sudden shaking of the earth's surface? Right, the earth's surface suddenly shaking caused by the movement of tectonic plates. This is a general knowledge question. We all know what is it. It is C, earthquake, the movement of tectonic plates. How are droughts classified based on the duration? Now on duration, how do we classify the droughts? Is it mild, moderate or severe? Is it short term, long term, extreme? Is it localized, regional or global? Is it seasonal, annual or decade long? What is the drought based on its classification as a duration? Right, so it is B, short term, long term, extreme. Short term duration, long term duration or an extreme drought. Which of the following is a characteristic of an unstable slope that may trigger a landslide? So this is one of these is a characteristic, means a feature of a unstable slope. Flat terrain, well compacted soil, presence of cracks and fissures or absence of vegetation, right? So out of these, which one is a characteristic of an unstable slope? Is it a flat terrain or is it a presence of cracks and fissures? It is C, presence of cracks and fissures. This is an unstable slope, means if it has cracks it will flow down, right? If it has fissures it will flow down. A well compacted soil will not flow down, right? It will be strong, it will have its ground. Let me show you properly. If this is a slope and this is the soil, it is strong, well compacted. Flat terrain, of course, there will be no unstable slope on a flat terrain. If it is like this or it is like this, there will not be any landslides. What is the primary cause of glacier avalanches? So out of avalanches, which is the primary cause of glacier avalanches? Is it earthquake? Is it snow accumulation? Is it melting ice? Or is it pressure from nearby mountains? So the correct option would be option B, snow accumulation. Which of the following is a safety measure during an avalanche? Okay, so a safety measure: shouting loudly, trying to outrun the avalanche, deploying an avalanche airbag, or jumping into a nearby river. So out of these, which should I do to save myself from the avalanche? Okay, do I try to outrun the avalanche? I run against it, right? It is going with gravity. Do I try to outrun it? Do I deploy an avalanche airbag? Okay, do I jump into a nearby river? What do I do? It is option C. I deploy an airbag. Okay, what is the eye of an cyclone? Okay, so let me tell you, if this is a cyclone, right? Okay, this is the eye. Now what is the eye? Is it the central region with calm weather? Is it the outermost region with strong winds? Is it the topmost part with heavy rainfall? Is it the bottommost part with high air pressure? So the correct option is A, a central region with calm weather. So you might not believe it, but this central region, it is called the eye of the cyclone. This has calm weather. This does not have wind blowing around it. This would be a calm region. Okay, this would be a calm region. I mean, there are winds flowing around it, but this would be a relatively calm region. Means the center would not have that high wind pressure, right? This would be a calm area. Which of the following factors can worsen a drought? Out of these, which can worsen a drought, increase its effect? So, artificially melting glaciers, constructing dams and reservoirs, planting drought resistant crops, overuse of groundwater resources. So of course it is D, overuse of groundwater. More and more water is being pumped out, hence a drought. What is the primary difference between a landslide and a mudslide? So a landslide and a mudslide, what is the difference? Speed, presence of water, location of occurrence, or the type of soil that is involved? It is B, presence of water. In a mudslide there is water, it is mud. Landslide, no. I mean, there could be, but in a mudslide we characterize it with a lot of water. Which of the following regions is more prone to cyclones? The most prone to cyclones: polar regions, mountainous regions, coastal regions, or arid regions? It is C, coastal regions. How can early warning systems help mitigate the impact of cyclones? So if I have an early warning system, out of these, how will it impact the cyclones? By preventing drought conditions, by predicting the earthquake magnitude, by providing evacuations alert and safety instructions, by reducing the speed of glacial movement. Out of these, which is related to a cyclone? It is C. Which of the following weather conditions is favorable for the formation of drought? Right? Favorable for the formation of a drought: continuous rainfall, high humidity levels, strong winds, or persistent high pressure systems? It is D, persistent high pressure systems. It leads to a formation of drought. High pressure means there are not lot of rainfall, so it is a persistent high pressure system. What is the primary cause of a glacial avalanche? Okay, so a glacial avalanche, what is the primary cause? Okay, the primary cause: earthquakes, snow accumulation and instability, deforestation, or volcanic eruptions? Of course it is B, snow accumulation and instability. Which of the following is a human-made factor contributing to avalanches? A human-made factor contributing to avalanches. Is it increased snowfall? Is it glacial melting? Is it building ski resorts? Is it natural rock slides? So what is a human-made factor contributing to avalanches? Okay, so the correct option is C, building ski resorts. So if you build something like a ski resort at the top of a hill, right, so it will cause more and more snow to fall down. What is the term used to describe the sliding of a mass of rock or soil down a steep slope. So if it is steep slope and rock and soil are sliding down, what is the correct option out of these? Is it earthquake? Is it cyclone? Is it landslide? Is it an avalanche? So we're talking about rock or soil. Is this C, landslide? Okay. Which of the following is a primary effect of cyclones? Is it air pollution? Is it coastal erosion? Is it glacial melting, means a glacier melting, or a groundwater contamination? This causes an effect by cyclones, right? So the correct option would be B, coastal erosion. Okay, it will take away with it a lot of land, a lot of infrastructure, a lot of trees. Okay, the cyclone would take away because there are strong winds. What is the term used to describe a prolonged period of abnormally high rainfall? Prolonged period of abnormally high rainfall. Okay, high rainfall, not low. Cyclone, drought, landslide, flood. Of course, it is D, flood. Which of the following is an early warning system, early warning sign of an impending landslide? An impending landslide. So, is it falling tree leaves? Means this is giving an indication to a coming landslide. Receding water levels in rivers, cracks in the ground, or cloudy skies. Okay, out of these, which could be a symptom of a landslide about to occur? It is C, cracks in the ground. What is the primary source of droughts in arid regions? So what is the primary source of drought? Excessive rainfall, rapid glacial melting, evaporation of surface water, or soil erosion. So out of these, which is the primary cause of droughts? In arid means dry regions where already there is not a lot of rainfall. Okay, so it is option C, evaporation of surface water. Okay, so the surface water in the soil, okay, or in the rivers, it all will dry up. How can planting trees help prevent landslides? So how can planting trees help prevent landslide? By increasing soil erosion, by stabilizing the slope with their roots, by increasing the risk of drought, by promoting glacial melting. So out of these, how do planting more trees prevent landslides? So the correct option is option B. Option B, by stabilizing the slope with their roots. Okay, so it binds the soil. So that was all for the example session. I hope you liked it. Thank you.